loss.
We're today with the Cardboard Cantrips Commander Championship week. What is it? 5, 7, 10? It's 10? Week 10? It's week 3. We're really excited about today. Today is the start of something actually new for Cardboard Cantrips. We're trying something a little bit different on the video. Hopefully the quality is a little bit better. Some new things happening. If you like it, please let us know. Please like, subscribe, and share it to people who would also like this. We would really appreciate it.
Comment down below. Let us know what we're doing. We appreciate hearing from you guys.
We really do. Also, if we get to 100 subscribers, I'm giving away free arena player draft code. I have that. I have a couple of them, so maybe another reward here by the end of the season. Let's get to 100 subscribers first. That way we can get our own YouTube channel name. But today...
It would be nice.
It would be nice. But let's get into what we have. We have This is week 3. We're starting.
Yep.
Who do we have coming into week 3? What's the leaderboard look like?
So at the top, we currently have D riding first place, followed closely behind DJ in second, Wes in third, and Andy in fourth, and Kai in fifth. All of them at 13 points.
Oh wow, that's a 5-way tie for let's use the oh man, that just left my head. That's sweet. We're going to use the versus live theory. They are all tied for 5th place. You tie for the lowest place.
Right.
I like it.
Okay. And then we have
in the middle of that though. I kind of want to go over Andy. She was in first place going into last week.
Yeah, she dropped 3 places.
She did. 4 maybe. Tied for 5th.
Right.
Right. But I mean, that's still 2nd through 5th. Like, that's a big tie.
That's a huge drop.
It is. But alright, let's continue on.
And then in 6th place we have Thor, solely in 6th at 12 points. Nahan and Seth tied for 7th at 11 points, even in tiebreakers. 9th place we have Logan. And Jake in 9th. Yep.
And to continue on, you're still ahead of me in the rule to save the world. You know what's really important.
Oh yeah.
That's actually shaking up real interesting. So this week I'm really excited about this. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I want to get into the matches. Let's do this. So today, week 3 of the Cardboard Cantrips Commander Championship Series, we have Jake playing his Gruul beat 'em up style Xenagos deck.
Then we have Logan playing his Bant Derevi, totally not control token generator deck.
Then we have Thor playing his 5-color Ramos good stuff deck.
And going last is my Samut. She is Legendary Matters, and she's here to stay.
Alright, let's get this going.
Week 3, Commander. Jake starts us off with a Myriad Landscape. Jake and Logan both are down a card each due to Mulligan.
Yep. Logan here's playing a Hollow Fountain Tap and a Terramorphic Expanse from Thor. Devin's here's taking his turn.
Playing my Canopy Vista.
You know, I really like those lands as slow fetches. I actually like them a lot.
Slow fetches? Like Myriad?
No, I meant the Canopy. They're not slow, but they're you get the extra one, right? What's that?
You're thinking Crows and Verge.
Crows and Verge, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Crows and Verge and Myriad Landscape. Yeah. Both amazing cards.
Jake plays Arid Mesa, and back to Logan, who plays a
Bountiful Promenade. He asks if any 2 opponents would like to concede, which would mean that land would enter tapped.
It's like Thor's first one to some action. Land of War Elves. But this is a better elf.
Yep. Green Sun for 1.
You know, I have Green Sun in a few decks. And I don't think about putting more birds and stuff in it. I think I want to get some Dryad Arbors.
Yeah.
For 0s. And I have Bird in the one... Actually, I guess I only play it right now in one deck, and it does play Bird. And Hapatra. But...
I mean, there's no reason not to, because the card's dead in my hand until late game anyway, so might as well shuffle it back in, do its own effect.
Yeah, I see that. I have a hard time, though, because I'm always wanting to keep it for something out there. Jake is going to take the first damage here, though. Taking 1 to crack that Arid Mesa. It's going to go down to 39. You guys may have noticed some changes here to the video. We're trying a little bit of things different here week 3. It's looking pretty good. Some visual changes, some audio changes. We're hoping you're going to like this week. All right. So it looks like that Green Sun to Birds has now resolved.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about these matchups. I think your deck, Samut, and Jake's deck, the Xenagos, very similar styles of play.
Yeah. The only difference is Samut gives me white due to her activated ability. But both are very heavily aggressive style decks.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually venture to say that Xenagos is actually more aggressive than Samut.
Oh, absolutely. I think it is too. And Jake fetched to get a Shelter Thicket tapped.
Yeah.
We're wondering what that was. And he plays a land here. And on the land, he's playing Utopia Sprawl. He chose red.
Yep.
With Utopia Sprawl, he puts it on a basic land so you can't get, Field of Ruined or...
Right.
Because the Shelter Thicket already produces either or whatever he needs. So he passed to Logan. Logan played Botanical Sanctum. You have here.
Looks like it's a Skycat Sovereign.
Meow. This Derevi is a token generating deck. Logan told us. We played against it a few times. It does make some tokens here. But it looks like you played the cat and passed.
Thor's taking his turn. Untaps his lands. Considering he's a 5-color deck, he's going to go ahead and play a Chromatic Lantern.
Probably. It's, you know what? I have that on almost the same power level as Soul Ring in my decks. If I'm playing more than 2 colors, it's an auto include. I have to have it.
Yeah.
As I said, almost the same power level. If I'm playing 2-color deck, I still have Soul Ring.
Yeah,
for the most part.
There's a lot of decks that run 2 colors that still play Chromatic Lantern just because they have to have the colors represented.
In my 3-color decks that come, I actually don't play it.
Grand Abolisher hits the board to everyone's dismay.
Yep. In response, Jake will fetch with his
Myriad
Landscape. When I was going back to Swisscom, I don't use that. It has a lot of land ramp, and it untaps basic land, so it kind of defeats the purpose of the deck. I want to cheat out the big dinosaur early, but I have to do it with lands, not with...
Right, not with rocks.
Yep. And this Grand Abolisher... What's a Grand Abolisher do, Devin?
So Grand Abolisher is a 2/2 for 2 white. Not very impressive, but it's his effect text that says players cannot cast spells or activate abilities on your turn.
I like this. So the top half of this board, so we're looking at the top 2 players, you and Jake, Samut and Xenagos. We don't want people to interact with you.
Exactly.
Bottom 2 do have this weird color called blue in them that likes to stop things on your turns.
Best color ever.
But you're not playing it. Mistake number 1 by Devin.
Yeah. Technically, I could produce it with the bird.
You could. It's like Jake, you pass to Jake here, and Jake is playing Spire Garden and casting his commander Xenagos. Xenagos is sweet.
Yeah, so he has a on-combat trigger to double the power of target creature he controls that's attacking. It also gives it haste.
Yep.
So the 3/3 becomes a 6/6. The 12/12 becomes a 24/24.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Yep. So we pass to Logan here. Logan playing Command Tower. And passes the turn.
Ooh. Looks like some people are forgetting about a little thing called First Blood Point.
I know. Wow, we still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of creatures and nobody went, look at them flying. You block, but you're tapped out, see?
Exactly. You could have gone anywhere with that.
First Blood is a key component to our scoring system here. That was Director Me making sure Xenagos didn't give checking if it gave things haste or gave itself haste or trample. Haste and trample would be ridiculous.
Yeah. It does not give trample.
Right?
Thankfully. Looks like Thor plays a Phantasmal Image copying my Grand Abolisher.
So now there's 2. See, look at that!
So half the board, you have to play fair. Looking over at the blue player, Derevi. Feeling kind of sad.
Alright. At this point here, there's still nobody getting in. Like, I don't understand it. There's 5 creatures out.
Yeah.
And an enchantment. This is getting slow. Let's see here. Sorry about that. If you heard that, it sounds like some dogs are getting anxious for some combat damage.
It looks like I take that advantage, look at Jake and go, hey, take 2 damage. First blood is mine.
Oh, sad. I don't like that. Get that out of here. And then you pass your turn.
Yep, that was it. I didn't want to do much.
Nope.
Already pissing off the other aggro players, not a good idea.
No, it's not. Alright, Jake's taking this turn here.
Playing a Kessig Wolf Run. An amazing colorless land here. You pay a red and a green.
An X.
And X. Target creature gains X and trample.
X and haste.
Trample.
What's haste? Looks like Jake is playing Worm Coil Engine. Ugh. And he's targeting it with Xenagos.
Of course.
So now it becomes a 12-12, and he is attacking at Logan.
It looks like Thor is being nice.
Oh, it's a, yep. Turning a deflecting swat here. He was targeting Grand Abolisher, the Phantasmal Image.
Yeah.
So you have to sack it.
There was some debate here whether or not Jake wanted to hit my Grand Abolisher, but I convinced him that since he's killing his Worm Coil with that Terminate, he should probably just direct that to Thor's.
Look to this point, though, too. It looks like you already declared blockers. You're blocking with your Birds of Paradise. It is trample. You were correct, sir. I remember why we don't put an Amulet Titan anymore. Because it's not hasty.
It's not hasty.
Alright. This is with everybody pleading like, hey, this is already broken. We don't need Xenagos on Worm Coil Engine here.
Yeah. He's coming out of the gates hard and fast. Xenagos, Worm Coil. That's a 24-point life swing.
Yep. And it looks like block. Yep.
I'll bring in the Samut, tapping down the blocking bird. And Jake proceeds to gain 12 life.
Ow.
Logan, before Jake passes his turn, decides to prove that this is, in fact, a token deck. Paying 4
mana for a 1/1 flyer. Such a great rate.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually probably pretty good if you can get that going with multiple flyers and pumping it harder. But to get 2 power on the board for 4 mana, maybe not the best. Looks like Logan's playing Horizon Canopy. Let's see, he's thinking what he wants to do. Yeah, that's what I need to also get here. I think I want to get some more of these draw lands. The Canopy lands. I don't have any of them.
Yeah, they're great for utility. If you don't need them, you just pop them off, draw some cards. Looks like Logan's going to attack here.
At
swinging
Thor.
2.
Yep. Just 2. He's making sure we know it's just 2.
Yeah, just with that sovereign.
Yeah.
Making sure. Going at Thor. Thor decides to not play a card or block because he can't block with the Land War Scout there. Thor takes his turn.
Thor plays a Temple of Malady tapped.
Yeah, getting the tap line, but does give him the scry to the top.
Yep. And Thor's thinking about doing something.
He does ask Jake if he's willing to draw a card. Jake says that would be nice. That he wouldn't mind it.
But's confused. Like, why am I going to draw a card? Well, let's just say I'll let you draw a card. You'll be the only one.
Yep, shatter the sky, destroy all creatures. Anybody that has a creature with power 4 or more gets to draw a card.
I semi-like this card.
Yeah, me losing my bird and having just cast Samut, I'm actually pretty upset about this.
Yep. With that, however, it's semi-fair. If you have a big creature out, you're gonna get a draw card to try to replace one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a complete X for 1 for 10,
However, it was Wormcoil Engine, so he gets a draw card and make 2 3/3s.
Yep. One
with Death Touch, one with Lifelink. And Xenagos is not a creature, so it's still on the board, and it's indestructible anyways.
Yep. Ouch.
So
it looks like, Devin, right on time you're playing Temple of the Forgotten Gods.
Yes. I had 2 lands in hand, that Temple and one other, and so it was a risky keep.
That was a real risky. You basically have a 1 lander.
Yeah.
It's nice when they work out.
Yep.
Go back and watch week 1 if you haven't seen that. Alright, looks like Jake takes his turn here.
Yeah, I passed it over. I don't want to play into anything here. Don't want to piss off the bear. That's too much.
Sam has Flash. I mean, you can play her again if you need to.
I'm 1 off.
How much does she cost normally?
5.
5. Oh,
so
she
I
does?
need 7.
Okay. It looks like Jake is playing Conqueror's Flail.
Yep, so this is half Grand Abolisher. It's specifically Grand Abolisher's Flail.
Yep.
It says that whenever it is equipped, players cannot cast spells.
So we've already had 3 Grand Abolisher effects today?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Just want to make sure that's right.
Keeping track of that. That matters.
It's like Jake's going to equip it and responding. Logan's casting Derevi.
He's not casting, he's activating. So Derevi has this neat trick of, from the command zone, you could pay his activated cost to have him enter the battlefield.
But does he still have the same enter the battlefield effect if you cast him, though?
Yes.
Because he never cast him, so we wasted a mana there. Paid for to do his ability.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, I just want to make sure I was correct. I just wanted to check that. Looks like he does equip it on the life-linking worm. And he's like, what did you do there, Logan? Xenagos triggering on the lifelinky worm, which is a 5/3, going to be a 10/3.
Yeah, interesting to note, Logan didn't decide to tap down the equipped worm with Derevi, probably assuming that the other one would become a 6/6 going his way, but this is a 10/10 with lifelink.
Right. He should have waited till... Oh, no. Yeah, that's a good idea.
He could have waited.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Jake decides to attack Thor for 10.
Yep.
And proceeds to gain 10 life.
Oh my word. Huge
swing. We have a massive life gain lead here.
Yep, and this is aggro versus like control-y. It's supposed to be tokeny, but it feels more like control. It's like Logan's gonna play a mountain here.
Forest.
Forest, sorry.
No. Yep, he's gonna play a forest or a mountain in a band. Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
I don't see anything wrong with
the
this.
Forest, the things that live on the mountains, the forest.
Right.
Right. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Is that why green's better than red?
Green in Commander is better than red. Green's probably the best color in Magic right now. I'm just gonna, unfortunately, like the last 12 years probably.
I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. Does not like what's happening.
You will come to find out Logan loves to gesture around before he does anything.
Yep. You know, with his nice Elish Norn playmat. All right. Paying 3 here for Aura Shards.
This is an amazing enchantment. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you destroy a target enchantment
you there,
or
Devin.
artifact. Yes, Derevi goes my way. He needed something to hit for Derevi's trigger.
Yep.
However, he then forgets that he was saving up mana for something.
Yep.
Right after this. And that was the deal, is that Derevi was going to hit me to untap a land.
So we can deal with stuff.
Yeah.
And because he was killing Derevi, we had to veto that.
Yeah.
Devin's Veto. Interesting spell to be playing in Commander. It's uncounterable, which I like. However, it's restrictive, and it's a hard mana cost. 2 colors. Most Commander games, you're probably not going to cast that many. And it's probably going to be very good when you need it to be good. But I'm always worried about the 2 color part of it.
Right. And that was even true in Standard, too. It was Devin's Veto over Negate.
Yep.
You always kind of looked at that. However, in Commander, I think it's more easily done. And there's always going to be a non-creature.
It's like Thor takes his turn and passes it.
Yep. Not sure what he's planning over there, but I play land.
Cinderglade.
And I decide, you know what?
It's time for things.
We got to get going on something here.
Yep.
And if it survives, it survives. If it doesn't...
This is a ridiculous Commander card.
Oh, boy. Anticipation.
What do we got here?
We got
Counting.
7 exact. Oh, boy.
And 3 of it's green.
Incoming busted card. Nyx Bloom Ancient.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love this card. I feel if I could find a way to utilize them in Standard, I would.
And then responding to your Nyx Bloom Ancient, Thorcast Mystic Confluence is going to bounce both of the worm tokens here.
Yeah.
Which does effectively deal with them. I mean, they're gone.
It does. I'm not happy that he dealt with my Nyx Bloom Ancient.
Yes. Countered it and bounced those. That's sad.
Yeah.
It was a different, interesting Ramos deck I wasn't expecting to see. You know?
Yeah.
It went off of, it's going off of a theme here we'll get to in a little bit that I wasn't expecting out of it. You know? Looks like Jake is going to take his turn here. Alright, let's see. Whew. You know, I really like the way that this deck plays from Jake. However, it gets a little scary. And this is where you were mentioning to Jake that you saw his hand because it was sitting on the table.
Yep, he did kind of flash his entire hand, and I got thoroughly scared. At this point, I said, you know what? You get to have first. I'll help you get there. Just give me a second.
That's scary. I mean, he's definitely in a commanding lead. Definitely the arch enemy at this point.
With nearly nothing on the board, too, and that's the scary part. Xenagos is a huge player on this board right now.
It really is, and it's the reason why he's the threat. 1 card, instant threat. Mm-hmm. You know, and I like the idea of that kind of strategy. However, it's very open-faced. Like, you know that's what's going to happen. You see it in the command zone. I know what to watch out for. I know what to look at.
And you could set up to deal with it, but the fact that Xenagos is indestructible is
a hard part.
Is also very hard.
Yep. And it's enchantment, too, early. So it's not even a creature, so you have a special removal for that anyways. You know, like Merciless Eviction.
Right.
You know? And target enchantments and artifacts, which is not... It's going to make you hate it at the table, by the way.
And then on top of that, he decides to throw down a Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which we all try and pronounce effectively the real name that it was given, and we decided it doesn't matter.
It's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
I really like this card. It's where he goes to equip Conqueror's Flail on it. It's actually where it gives your creatures lethal damage assigned by the power, not their toughness.
Correct.
So it's a 7/3. You can't just bolt it.
Right, because it's effectively a 7/7.
Yep.
Makes you wonder why they give the 7/3, but it's because of the minus abilities.
Yeah, so if you give like a -3/-3, it will die.
Yes.
-3, -1/-1.
counters.
Snake counters.
From that, their Hepatra. I mean, that still goes.
Yep.
So he's going into combat. Xenagos triggers, obviously on Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yep.
And
so it's a 9/3, becoming an 18/3, attacking Logan for 18.
And he just takes it.
That hurts.
A lot.
Ooh. Oh, man. That's a rough one. Interesting fact, it is a dinosaur.
That is a dinosaur.
It is a dinosaur. Make sure to point those out when those come out to you, alright? Dinosaur creatures are dinosaurs.
That, in fact, they are.
They are. Alright.
Logan's doing some rearranging here.
Yep.
Finally playing the mirror entity.
Triggering aura shards.
Getting rid of the Conqueror's Flail.
That's good. That is good. Is aura shards enchantment? I mean, artifacts only? Or is it artifact or enchantment it destroys?
Aura shards should be target artifact or enchantment.
Interesting.
So, I mean, you could target Xenagos all day long. It won't do anything.
Yeah.
So.
Alright.
Looks like Derevi is going into Logan's face.
For 2.
Or Jake's face. I'm sorry.
Logan into Jake for 2. And that is commander damage. He's like, you know what? I will take your 20 damage, but I will kill you with this bird.
That's right. Passes over to Thor. Thor untaps, draws his card. And it looks like he has only one thing on his mind right now.
That's playing Magic. He's really excited to play some Magic right now.
Well, he's looking at this board. And there isn't much on there except, Xenagos and Godzilla.
Yep. Just a board full of some cool stuff here. And he's playing a new card here from Ikoria. I want to say Layer of Ikoria, but it's not.
No. This is...
It's Ikoria, Layer of the Behemoths, but yes.
Mythos of Snapdax.
Yep.
And he does pay all 3 colors, so he gets to choose which ones get sacrificed.
Which one gets kept.
Capped, and the rest get sacrificed.
Yep. So it looks like he chose the Utopia Sprawl to be kept and the Mirror Entity to be kept.
So that means both commanders go to the command zone.
Sacrifice deals with Xenagos as well.
Yes, it does.
See?
I lose nothing because he's already countered or killed everything I've put out onto the battlefield.
That's true.
So far.
Logan just making sure that he was making sure he wanted to get rid of Derevi. Thor's confirming it here. Squirrels! Sorry. Got off track.
You have to kind of think, I almost would have gone the other way around because this just gives Logan another ETB effect off of him.
And he plays Grand Abolisher. How many Grand Abolishers have we seen already?
This is 3 plus a flail.
3 plus a flail. Oh my word.
We just don't want to be messed with on our turns, alright?
You hear that, Logan? Remember that. Looks like we passed to your turn here, Devin.
Yep.
It's like a sweet turn you have coming up.
Not so much. Explosive Vegetation. I'm sitting with only 7 mana, and I have got to get more lands on the field.
Got to get some ramp going here.
So, Explosive Veg, search for 2 basics, put them on the battlefield tapped.
Looks like you chose a forest and a plains.
Yeah. Have enough red on the board.
That's the difficult part, is determining what you're going to need in the future, though. I mean...
Right.
At this point, for when I'm looking at my Naya deck as well, I'm like, alright, let's make sure I have doubles of everything.
And then work on the triples.
And then work on triples, exactly.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Naya. I feel like they run more triple-costed cards.
And it's mostly green, though. It is mostly triple green.
Right.
But yes, it is. And then the problem is you're running out of something else later on, you know?
Yeah. Pretty much no matter what you choose, it's the wrong answer.
Yep. Alright, looks like you're passing here to Jake. I want to see what Jake's got here. Spicy deck going on. Looks like Jake plays a Scalding Tarn. Xenagos is a really high cost commander too, though.
Yeah, he's also 5 to start.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in green, so you can supplement that with ramp spells.
Ramp to get to it, yeah. It's like he's going to cast Xenagos.
Yep.
Logan's got priority here, so it looks like he's thinking about something. Yep. He's going to take a life damage from the Horizon Canopy to cast Derevi and tap down Godzilla. Alright.
And thing to note, he does point out the fact that he could blow up the Utopia Sprawl and decides not to.
I don't know if I wouldn't have done that. He's already poking at Jake quite a bit. I mean...
Yeah. And
Jake swung and wanted basically as already half his life. Yep.
Yeah. And I point this out, and he's like, you know what? I'm just a good guy.
It's a May ability. I'm going to may not use it right now.
Correct.
Alright, looks like Logan goes here. This is an interesting fact that's going to come up here. Logan's going to play a sweet card. It's actually one of my favorite cards right now in Standard that's not been used. I'm really excited for this play. He has 6 mana. I'm building up the hype for this card. It's a sweet card. What is it? Alright, pull the trigger.
I'm waiting.
And take 1. Boop. For camaraderie. This creature gets +1/+1, and he draws a card for each creature he has. Interesting fact about it is I have no idea how to spell that. I took 20 minutes to be able to spell camaraderie. Thank you, Internet. Now you know my secret. I realized in my notes for the match it's spelled wrong. In the editing for this video, it took me 20 minutes to find the card. I had to go back to Gatherer, search all cards.
Just to find the
just
one.
to find it. You know, it's real bad even when Word doesn't know what the heck you're spelling. Spell check. It's like, you want to use another language? And you say, no, I know it's English. It does not know that.
Looks like he plays a Simic Growth Chamber bouncing a basic forest.
Yep. And it looks like Logan is poking more at the bear. Looks like he's attacking Jake here for 5. And 3 commander damage. See? He's like, I don't care about your 20s.
That's right.
He probably should have kept back a blocker there, though.
He probably should have.
Yep. And he's untapping
just the Simic Growth Chamber.
Yep.
Which is really good with Derevi.
Yeah. However, he should have left up his other creature for a blocker. I mean, it's not doing anything now.
Yeah.
His token deck is making not many tokens either.
Not at all.
Camaraderie is a fantastic card in token deck. I play a lot of my green-white hero token-making decks that for some reason keep winning, and I have no idea why. But they keep winning, and it's cards like that just like, hey, pump up and draw a bunch of cards.
Right. It refills your entire hand, but you have to have the board state first.
Yep. It's like he passes to Thor here. Thor just plays Ramos.
Yep. Passes over to me.
You draw your cards like that a lot. Point to the corner.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago not to show my opponent my hand.
Yeah.
Unlike Jake.
You know, I show people my hand all the time. Like, you might see it on camera, too. I think even week 1, I put my hand upside down on the camera. I forgot. That's why I've won 5 Pro Tours.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Pro Tour eating contests.
For real. Speaking of, after this, I have something for you about that. Alright.
A little worried now, but okay.
It looks like you're passing your turn.
And Jake remembers he has a scalding turn that he's going to crack.
Mm-hmm.
Loses a life.
No problem with right now.
Yeah.
What's he going to grab here? I believe he's searching for a while for this one. So, I'm really excited about this. Alright. If you're wondering what it is, it's hot dogs. Yeah. A single hot dog from a hot dog stand called Hachi Dogs. Remember that. On Friday.
We should
Late
really
at night.
look into Jeopardy music.
Jeopardy music?
Do, do, do. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Looks like it's a stomping ground.
And I think we're going to... Yep, good. Alright. I mean, you either get a very little choices, you know.
Right. Eventually you start just running out, especially only in 2-color.
And is the original Dualism a Taiga? Is that the red-green land?
Red-green? I believe so.
I believe so, too. Yeah, so he's really limited on what he has here left to search. You know what they need? A Naya Triome. I want that.
Yeah, hopefully they come up with the Triomes for the other set.
I'm hoping that's the Zendikar land. Or fetches. Because they said that they don't want fetches in standard with Shocklands. Fetches with Triomes are...
Okay.
Okay, yeah, not like you're fetching for a tap land.
Yeah.
That's a tap land. Like, sounds interesting, right?
I would be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that, too.
I'd be okay with a reprint of fetches.
That's not the Secret Lair reprint of half of them again. The same half that's been reprinted already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, too. So, speaking of that, Jake takes his turn. Jake's counting up his mana. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I believe at this point he has 9?
Yep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 9 mana here. Wow.
Yeah. One thing to note is he has exactly 9 because Logan didn't destroy his Utopia Sprawl. And that comes to bite him in the rear.
Yep.
And everyone else kind of just tells Logan, I told you so.
Yep. Try warning. Ooh, 9 mana.
9 mana.
So big boy.
And it's a Tooth and Nail.
It's twins.
Yeah. So it's a 7-drop with Entwine 2. He searches his library for any 2 creatures, add them to hand, and then if you entwined or you can put 2 from your hand on the battlefield.
Which is still good too, actually, for 7.
Yes.
It's only entwined for 2, so in 2 more mana, you could do both.
Yeah. Tooth and Nail is kind of busted.
Tooth and Nail is kind of busted.
You know what I hated? Someone pulling 2 Darksteel Colossuses and 1 Tooth and Nail in a sealed format. Yeah, that sucked.
That sounded terrible.
Mind you, I was way younger and was like, what the heck's going on?
I'm going to guess you lost to poison damage.
It was not fun. Darksteel, not Blightsteel.
Darksteel. Oh,
Darksteel.
Oh,
so
no.
Blightsteel's twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, he still went at 10.
That's a 22 damage.
Yep. Yeah. Still dead.
Yeah.
Ugh. Jeez. That's just crazy. Green, you know what green shouldn't have? I'm okay with green getting more card draw. Card draw based around creatures and big, tough, right? Doesn't need tutors. Green has a lot of creature tutors.
Right.
Green Sun Zenith, Finale of Devastation, Tooth and Nail, like...
Eldamari's Call, that's green-white.
Yep. Those other ones are talking about just put them in the battlefield, though. Like,
yeah.
Straight into the battlefield. Come on. However, they can be really high-costed. I mean...
Finale of Devastation.
Finale of Devastation, you pay 12 mana.
And
gives everything +10/+10 and trample.
Trample.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting. And then you go get cards. See, I don't know what Jake is running in here in his deck here, because there's a couple of options that I could think of that I'd want to get, because we don't have a deck list.
Right. And hands down, there's always a color list.
Yeah.
There's always Blightsteel. There's always Ulamog, Emrakul.
Yep.
Even though he's not going to get the.
And Blightsteel does have trample.
Yes.
Yes. So you can get so it's 22 poison, trampler. Yeah.
And haste.
And haste.
Xenagos.
Yep. Craterhoof. And the reason why I put Craterhoof in there, it doesn't give you a lot more damage. However, it's going to give you your pips you need to make Xenagos a creature too.
Yeah.
Yep. And he already has haste.
Yeah.
So you're already pumping everything up already, and then Xenagos trigger on something else, and then get in.
And most of the board can't even die because of the Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. There's so much he could do here.
Yep.
And he's still deciding.
He is. We're going to cut here, people. Okay. All right, we're back.
So we have an Atali and a Hydra Omnivore, both to hand.
Mm-hmm. Those are good cards. I like Atali. You actually like Atali a lot.
Yeah, I find Atali to be amazing. If he was any cheaper, I would have him as my red commander.
And just Atali in general, just as play at other people's things, is a really interesting spin on a deck, because generally things like this beat down giant deck doesn't have ways to deal with stuff like that.
And it looks like Hydra Omnivore hits the board, and Ramos hits the board, not Atali.
Yep.
So Ramos' trigger
doubles the power and toughness of everything.
Yep. And this, I believe, does make Xenagos.
Yep, would make Xenagos a creature here. He targets the Hydra with Xenagos. So the Hydra is now a 32/32.
Which is enough to kill both Thor and Kai if he attacks me.
Because when Hydra attacks, he deals damage from one into another player as well.
Yep.
So he's attacking Devin, and it's not enough to kill you.
No, and I'm almost actually okay with just taking it to take Thor and Logan off the board, but I realize there's this thing called extra points.
So we have a way to earn extra points here by saving another player.
From certain defeat.
Yep.
And I am saving both of them. I wish it was double points, but it's not.
That is not judge ruled. I said no.
And so Hydra does not have trample. And my...
But see, you know what it would have done if you would have gotten something like, once again, Craterhoof and the Hydra, though.
It would have been.
Yep, because a Craterhoof would have given +4/+4, so 12, 24, which would have still basically been enough here to attack with a couple other things as well and gotten in. Right? So...
I decided to play Samut, Flash Speed, proceed to go to blocks.
And I'm just imagining, I don't know how just this one little person comes on from this giant Hydra. I'm like, you know what? I got everybody.
That's cool. Right.
It's cool.
You want to know why? Samut, she's a beast. She took one for the team.
She did.
Went right back to the
She
commander.
looks like terrified in that picture though. Like in the art of that one, like it looks like she's like half like deranged and half terrified running down an alleyway.
Like she should be frothing at the mouth.
Yeah, right. Like she just ran away from something. Like she bit the neck off of some creature and like running away to not get caught. That's what I feel like.
Right.
And it looks like he passes the board here to Logan. Logan kind of thinking about what he wants to do here.
He knows at this point he needs to protect himself. That Omnivore connects with anybody and he's dead.
Basically, if it doubles, I mean, that's already 16, almost his entire life.
Yeah.
And he's been picking a fight with Jake. This whole game. Like,
yeah.
No, not really. It's not really a terrible fight, but it's attack me. I want to throw some mana damage back at you. Like, I still took your 20. Poke. Like,
right. All you're doing is throwing a bee at the honey bear.
Yes.
And he realizes that if he did destroy the Utopia Sprawl, that would never have happened.
Yep.
He would have been 1 mana short. And so I think at this point he decides to pretty much get his revenge.
Right. Verity Circle. This is whenever a creature is tapped for any reason other than attacking. You draw a card as attacking, or is it also mana abilities?
I think it's just attack.
I think so too. We'll get that up here on the screen. And it looks like Logan's throwing back at Jake. Derevi. And looks like he... he's thinking what he wants to do.
Yeah, Fairy Circle. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it isn't being declared as an attacker, you may draw a card.
Yep.
You pay 5 tap target creature.
Yep. So he taps it and draws a card off of it. It's pretty interesting. That's pretty good. And it looks like he's going to pass the turn to Thor. Alright. Thor is getting up here. Arcane Signet. That's a good rock to have. Elvish Mystic. Okay. What else you got?
Looks like he likes to ramp a little.
Yep.
Oh.
Nope.
And a Talisman of Curiosity.
Yep. And that was an interesting turn.
Yeah. Sometimes
ramp,
you do have to step off to...
In these 5-color decks, I feel like you spend so much of it doing it. Of ramping.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So it passes to you, Devin. You're thinking about what you want to do here. I think you're actually laughing to yourself right now.
Yeah, there's been one card I added to my deck a long time ago, and I haven't been able to play it. And because Xenagos is a creature...
Darksteel Mutation.
So, Darksteel Mutation is an enchant creature. Enchanted creature becomes a 0/1, no effect, indestructible creature.
Insect.
Yep. So thing to note, Xenagos' trigger of being an enchantment or a creature is an effect on him. So that no longer applies, no matter if you board wipe.
Yep.
And it's indestructible, so it'll survive. So you literally have to bounce it.
Exile it.
You have to sacrifice it.
Mm-hmm. In order to it to come back. Yep. It's really tough to deal with. There's a couple of cards that do that. Do that type of effect that makes it tough to deal with a creature. Like if you have a hard time playing something.
And then I'm kind of a jerk and follow that up with Dracuseth.
I mean, that's fine. That's not bad. At some points here, it looks like Jake is pleading to me about it to check the ruling to make sure, and it loses all abilities, all other effects.
Yeah.
And that is an effect becoming a creature, or an enchantment is an effect. It loses that because it was a creature. You couldn't target it when it was an enchantment. Nope.
Yeah.
Which is huge. This makes Jake from possibly able to win right now to hold up. Let's think about what we need to do.
Yeah. It switches his game plan. He's just a straight beater, no real special combat trick, no special gimmick. It's just, I have dudes, they swing. Mm-hmm. And that's more manageable than what it was.
Yeah, there's nothing they would trample except for Godzilla. Godzilla has trample. I mean, but that's 7. You can take 7. Everybody can take 7 right now and be fine.
Yeah.
You know. Ronus is Death Touch, so that's the hard time that we have dealing with it, is the Death Touchy creature. It looks like Jake is thinking about what he wants to do here. Alright. What do we got? Yeah. See.
I think this is where we're confirming the ruling.
Here they are. This is where you guys are. Jake is pleading with me to make no, and I said I believe that you're correct first. And then we check the rulings. To note, fans of the show, we don't have an official judge on staff. We have a ruling by committee, and our committee decides together if it's correct or not. However, we are happy to learn new rulings or anything. Put them in the comments. Let us know. Like, we will be happy to learn and we might be able to have judges on at later times. We appreciate that. But thanks for your patience there. Super excited to actually get this game going again. All right. Jake is getting ready to go to combat, it looks like.
I believe that's him finally taking his turn.
Yeah.
Plays a
sneak
sneak attack. This is an amazing card.
Let you sneak an attack in.
Yep.
Boom. And this is exactly what the Xenagos deck wants. It wants to sneak things in, deal damage, get in, get out. Like, get in, kill, and get out. Like,
yeah, it doesn't even care if the creature sticks on the board as long as it deals that damage.
Because it knows it's going to draw another giant creature, and if it's paying, what, 5 mana? 4 or 5 mana. It's 1? It is 1. It is 1. I'm thinking of Through the Breach.
Yep.
Through the Breach is what I was thinking. Similar effect.
Yeah.
1 mana. That's why it's Legacy. To do this for your Blightsteel Colossus, your Itali, you know what I mean? Okay. Fair enough. It looks like Logan is first to respond. He's thinking about it. He's tapping 4 mana. It's actually tapped 5, by the way. He forgets that there's a Semi-Grow chamber there. Cryptic Command. Counter spell. And tap all opponent's creatures.
Yeah.
And this is checking all creatures. Look at that. And he gets to draw a card for each one. Yeah, he's pumped about that.
He's finally
like 8
excited.
cards. He's like, yeah, look what I get going here.
After that whiff on camaraderie.
He had to do it just to get something in his hand.
Yeah, and maybe that's what got him the cryptic.
Look how excited he's taking his turn. Like, he's in it.
I know.
Yo, woo.
He's like a kid in a candy store.
He's like, I got cards now. Woo.
And of course, Jake is not happy.
It's like he plays Plains here. Ready? Got it. Oh, Basalt Monolith first. Sorry about that. Forgot that was there.
Taps down the Basalt Monolith. Plays a little extra player, Rashmi.
Yep. And that's when you cast your first spell each turn. You get to look at the top card of your library and cast it if it's CMC less.
Less than what you just cast.
Or put it into your hand.
Yeah. You draw it otherwise if you don't. He has a Verity Circle.
Yep. What's up, everybody? Great Boomer.
Darth Bolas.
We're here today in our new Cardboard Cantrips Commander Championship Series. Here today to actually show you something. If you like what you see when we're playing for our custom game mats from any one of our players or ourselves, go to inkgaming.com/cc to get your custom playmat card sleeve needs. Use that affiliate link and they'll let you know that we sent them. We appreciate it. Alright. This is a Verity Circle.
Targeting Utopia Sprawl.
The Aura Shards?
With the,
Yeah.
Aura Shards.
Yeah, Aura Shards. Yep. There we go. Get off that 9th mana there, Jake.
Yep. He decides it's finally time to get that off the board. You've burned me once. Shame on you.
Alright. Now it's time for the time that really matters. Combat.
Oh, yeah. That mirror entity. Ooh, boy.
Right?
And then that Derevi.
Yep. And Jake's taking 2 more commander damage. So that's putting him at 7, it looks like.
And then I lose 1.
Yep. Looks like he's going to his end step here.
He just
drew a bunch of cards.
So he has to figure out what to discard.
Yep. He's going to untap the Basalt Monolith with Derevi. Go to his end step. I'm going to discard Forest. Forest. And Aven Guide.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. When they do nothing but discard lands, you know that they're stacked.
Which means you know they have spells there that they want to keep. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, you know, I have a hard time when I discard lands like that. Like, do I really want to discard that many lands?
And then you're looking at his board too. Like, he actually doesn't have very many lands.
Exactly, right? But if you have enough, if you drew abundance of lands on the 8 cards, you drew like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You're definitely discarding some lands. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Because they're probably not going to play them. Looks like Thor's casting
Journey to Eternity on his Grand Abolisher.
It's Grand Shiny card.
Grand Shiny card.
It's not shiny, but it's Grand Abolisher.
He really wants that trigger off Journey to Eternity, which is whenever a creature dies, bring it back immediately and transform Journey into a special land.
I think at this point, they're feeling like it's Logan Thor versus Devin Jake. It's now become two-headed giant.
Yeah. Which Jake and myself aren't the best of comrades either.
Nope.
We've kind of been poking at each other, and I did just neuter his commander.
You did.
And
he did not like that either.
No,
by the way.
he did not. I could not help myself. I was laughing the entire time.
It was fun. All right, looks like it's Devin's turn here. Let's see here. What are we gonna think? Yep. Looks like you're thinking what you want to get done. I mean, all right, we're gonna go through a couple things here. All right, first part. How do you think that Samut would come in here and be able to win first place from here? What do you think you need to happen for you?
So I need some value. So Dracuseth is huge on the board. However, I don't feel like he could really win me the game. I feel like he more enables me to clear the path for something else. And that could be... Creative Hoof's not in the deck. Neither is Avenger of Zendikar. So I could run an Avacyn out and have protection. I can have Kiki Jiki with any value engine like Eternal Witness. Bring back Nyxbloom Ancient. Ramp up. And that's what this deck does. It ramps up, goes to town. You play Gisela, Aurelia, and you just hammer the crap out of your opponents.
But you need that, like... I don't feel like you have many cards in your hand either.
No.
It's hard in Naya to keep up the hand. Like, if you don't have a way to continually get that hand going, get more cards in your hand, you will just flat run out of gas. Like, it happens. You know, I think, actually, this week 3 here, I was playing my match, which is not on camera, and I was playing Takama, my Naya commander as well.
Yep.
And I had a dominant board, could have won on my turn. They dealt with the board, and it was over. Like,
yeah. That's why we have cheat cards like Itali.
Yep.
Because he attacks and you get 4 free cards.
Or Zendikar Resurgent.
Yeah, you draw a card every time we play something.
Yep. Right.
Vizier of Menagerie. You play off the top of your deck.
So the next part, how do we think that Derevi actually will win from here?
So
I think he has to find a way to control the board. And get some tokens going.
I'm not sure if that's actually through his cards. I think that's actually going to be more through his politics.
I really think if he has, combat step, even though it kind of hurts him, Psych Rift, to bounce all the stuff back to Jake's hand.
Right.
Right? And then start making some tokens and getting that kind of pressure up or just enough blockers out, right? That I think that he could come back and win this, 10 or 12 tokens, but he's got to be able to make 10 or 12 tokens is the problem. And that's what his deck wants to do, with like Aura Shards and things. And that Cryptic Command was fantastic, tapping the team, drawing all those cards.
Timing.
I would love to play 4 mana, counterspell, tap everything, draw 8 cards every day, all day. Right?
Right. And he actually at this point hasn't actually upset me or Thor at all.
No, I think that's important for a blue player too. Is to not. There's a point to upset your opponents by doing the blue things, and then there's a point to let it go or to just like, that's fine. It resolves, kind of a thing.
Yeah, save it for when it's important.
And counter spells in Commander are not very good in general. Cryptic Command that you play there is because it has multiple modes.
Right.
Counter spells have a place because it's 1v3. So you got to be able to play 3 spells, counter 3 of their things before it gets back to you, and then you're going to be out of cards or you're going to be out of mana. It's more to protect yourself at some point. That's what you need them for.
Yeah, you want to use it to stop the Animate Dead on World Gorger. You want to stop the Blood Artist or Villainous Wealth. It's not counter your ramp spell.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or stop your tempo. It's really not. It's not going to work out well for you if you do. 1v1 Commander, yes, it can. It can be decent, right? But not this way. It's not. And then coming back here to Thor, Ramos. I think he has the best chance, actually, between you and Logan right now to come back in and win this. With his Commander out, that flying damage...
Oh, yeah.
Could come in. He can one-shot Jake.
Anyone, really.
Well, you have a flyer right now. And so, harder to kill you from that point. And so does Logan.
But in 5 colors, he should have a way to deal with one blocker.
Absolutely. But I think just in general, just with his commander damage, can just one-shot somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
The biggest threat, which could be Jake, with that 21 damage, because he doesn't have any flyers. Doesn't have a way to stop that. You have a flyer. Logan has a flyer. It's tapped right now. But he can also tap your creature, too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, there's that. But I think he's in the biggest position because it's just he has to cast a few multicolor spells, and it makes it good. Looks like now you're finally making your turn.
There was a big discussion here. I had to choose which side of the table I wanted to piss off. Because there's actually specific combination cards in my hand that I can, for the most part, either kill Logan and Thor, or just outright kill Jake.
And that's always the interesting part when you're playing the aggro is where do you go in Commander? You know what I mean? You also got to be wary of the crackback too. That's why I think a lot of professional players in Magic, pro players, they don't like playing Commander because they understand the aspect of trying to politic. They're not good at it.
Right.
And that's why they don't like it.
Because they do that 1v1 well. They could calculate the crackback there.
Or they're going to play the deck that just kills everybody. It doesn't matter what they do. I'm just going to kill everybody.
And so I go to make my decision, and it was to kill Logan and Kai. However, Logan responds before combat, before Dracuseth's trigger, to Swords to Plowshares Dracuseth.
Yep.
Which was a good call.
You exile that, sir. Yep. You're getting a bunch of life, though. It's good.
I do gain 7.
And he put that card into his hand. And then now you're thinking of what you want to do here.
Yeah, at this point, I need to lessen the effect of Jake and help the board state. So I go ahead and play an Elesh Norn.
I think your exact words were, I can get your commander back for you, Jake, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elesh Norn does end up actually killing Darksteel Mutation. I'm trying to get back into Jake's good side. Because that was the plan from the start. Is both aggros, kill the other player, and then we just duke it out for first and second.
Elesh Norn is definitely a very good aggro card.
Yes.
Get all the little chump blockers out of the way and make your stuff bigger.
Absolutely.
I love it. Looks like we finally get back to Jake's turn here.
And then we count up Jake's lands, and he doesn't even have enough to cast his Xenagos.
No, he's on 8. And he needs 9. At 9th mana again.
Utopia Sprawl.
See? Came back a couple times. It looks like he's going to go to combat. And Logan's like, whoop, 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 whoop. You can't just skip phases there.
Before combat.
Yep. Seeing how he wanted to do this.
He's going to tap down
the Hydra. Which is nice because it's going to stop the double damage,
Yeah.
However, Hydra just creates chump blocker. You know.
And Logan realizing he's overpaying again.
Yep.
Yeah, that Omnivore is actually really good. It's only a 6/6 right now, but effectively dealing 24 damage on one swing. That's amazing.
That is a lot. Yep. Now I think he's letting Jake go to combat. I still get in. Yep. I got boom.
Yep.
And he's like, you know what? I don't think these are all you first. Now they are.
Now, yep, they're going straight to your face.
Yep.
Logan realizes that Godzilla has tramples.
Yep. So he's going to block the Ronus.
Keswick Wolfling says, I don't care. It has trample also.
And it has 5 trample, yep. So he's going to take
12 damage.
12 damage.
Gets down to 10.
10. Oof.
And that's scary to be you sitting across from 2 aggro and a 5-color deck to your left.
One that has that and almost 2 different creatures to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, but I think he has a plan. Alright. He's making sure that we knew that Basalt Monolith was not untapped.
Yeah.
But Cultivate. Speaking of Cultivate, it's reprinted. And in Core Set 2021. I'm excited about that.
You know, I'm actually really glad that's coming out again.
I am sad that it's taking up a rare slot in the collector's type packs because of the alt art, but it looks so good I want them. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of excited about that. Looks like he got an island tapped and a plains to his hand.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What is he going to get done here? You know, I think he's worried about the Elish Norn. You know, that's a big threat. I think...
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, the biggest threat at the table is Hydra. Right? But the next biggest threat, I think, would be the Elish Norn because it affects the table.
Yeah, and she's holding down the fort just by herself.
Speaking of this, Darksteel Mutation type cards, Song of the Dryads.
He did ramp me one, effectively.
Yep. In response, Thor is going to Phantasmal Image the Elish Norn.
Copying the Elish Norn.
So there's another Elish Norn on the board. So technically, it's actually 2 Elish Norns.
At one time.
And you try to Red Elemental Blast, but you thought he was casting.
I thought he was casting it, and I'm like, oh wait, nope, he's getting it with his land.
Yep, can't do that. So it's never blue.
It's never blue.
Yep. Or a part where you can interact with it. So it actually kills a lot of things. Godzilla's dead.
Yep.
Derevi's dead. That's it.
And that's it. I mean, it's a lot as far as that Godzilla has done enough work.
Yeah. And then, yep, it looks good. And now it ramped you.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost like it's like Path to Exile. You know what I mean? It's similar.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Works better on a commander though. Ooh, looks like Thor's taking his turn. Is this Thor's turn to finally get in the game? Yeah. I think we need to start seeing something from Thor. And I think he knows it. He is behind here. This is a good game. I enjoyed this game. This is a very good game here.
Yeah, so far there's been a lot of back and forth. I mean, you had Jake that was up top, got controlled out a bit. I've been on the slow burn. Derevi's been doing some things, doing what he does best. And then you have Thor over here going to come out of the gates. The issue is his hand size also.
Yep.
That's his biggest issue right now.
Which is none. He's top decking.
Yep.
However, he's been playing stuff from the graveyard. And that is Nicol Bolas the Ravager.
An amazing card. 4/4/4/4.
4/4/4/4.
4/4/4/4.
Yep.
Each opponent discards a card.
Looks like you guys are discussing one to discard. It's all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like Logan's gonna pitch a forest.
This one was really tough for me. Waves of Aggression. It's an extra combat. However,
I was shocked you did that. I knew your hand, Logan hands, and Jake hand. I couldn't see Thor because Thor was across the area from me where I was at.
Right.
I got to see everybody else's hand here, and knowing what's happening, being behind the scenes, I was shocked that you give that one up. I would have probably dumped the other card in your hand that you ended up keeping.
Which is the Boros Charm, is what
Nope.
you're... Ooh.
Kiki.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You had a Kiki in your hand. However, Kiki can do some dumb things.
Honestly, I was holding Kiki to try and get Eternal Witness. And just get it all back.
Yeah.
So.
Alright. That's a real spot there.
It is.
It's a real glaring spot there on Thor's playmat.
Nicol Bolas. He's too shiny.
He is.
He's too shiny.
It looks like and he gets 3 counters on Ramos, right? You get a counter for each pip,
For each color.
each color in your casting cost.
Yeah, and looks like Jake discarded one of the Eldrazi that shuffles his library.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was the Kozilek.
Yeah.
He decides to go to combat
To attack Jake.
for a lot of commander damage.
Tip 14, it looks like. 12, sorry.
Yeah, 12 commander from Ramos.
Yep, that's
and
good.
then 4 from the Elish Norn.
Yep. Elshorn has vigilance, correct?
Correct. He then decides to remove some counters.
Get some mana. That is one thing I do like about Ramos, though. It's definitely interesting because you can pay more that you pay with it out, the more you're going to get back. It looks like he uses that to transform Nicol Bolas.
Yes.
Is it the Arisen, I believe?
Yes, Nicol Bolas the Risen.
The Arisen.
+2 to draw 2, which is amazing.
-4 to bring back Planeswalker or creature.
From any grave.
-10 to deal 10 damage to a creature or Planeswalker. Yep. Is that it? I had a 4th ability. Alright. I think Thor was thinking what he wants to do here next. And Logan here is looking at his 10 life. He thought he could deal 10 right to him, which would hurt.
Yeah, -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library.
Yeah. 2-turn mill.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you can win yourself there somehow. You know, Jace, Wheeler Mysteries, right?
Or Lamane.
We have to be able to draw the 2 cards with that, man.
I mean, he has Verity Circle.
Talking about Thor to win himself.
Oh, Thor on himself? Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Thor's checking graveyards here. And Jake decides to the card that he pitched for Nicol Bolas was Kozilek and shuffled back into his library. I don't know if we mentioned that, which came up to be very important here.
Yeah.
Because he would have been able to pull out some gross things out of Jake's graveyard.
He had a lot in the graveyard that would have done some damage. I think at this point, Logan and I both convince him just to +2 to draw 2.
Yeah,
because he has no cards in hand.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the right thing.
It does get him a land.
Yep. It's Exotic Orchard, right? Looks like. Yep.
Yeah.
And then he just passes the turn. So with Ramos, can you just pull off as many counters as you want for mana, or
only once per turn?
But just as many counters as you want.
It has to be 5.
It has to be 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was wondering why he wasted a bunch of mana there. Okay.
Nope. You have to pull off exactly 5, produces 2 of each color, and you could only do it once per turn.
Right. Alright, Devin, looks like you're going here. Looks like you have 10 mana.
Got a lot.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and Elish Norn is 10. Yep.
Yep. I'm looking through my own graveyard right now.
I don't like it when green decks look through their graveyard.
Because after you dealt with all the stuff, and they're
You
just
have
like,
to deal with
I'm just going to
something
get it back.
Yep.
Looks like there's only...
So you put something on top there.
Yep. Ewit. Specifically the card I was talking about.
Nyx Bloom Agent. You can cast the Nyx Bloom Agent.
And thank you, Logan, for giving me that
land.
Song of the Druid.
Right? See, Logan giving up people lands, not destroying them in time. Like, come on.
And Logan at this point was like, dang it.
Right? And that looks like that's your turn there.
Yeah, completely tapped me out for it. I could have waited. Maybe even played the Kiki Jiki. Grabbed something else as well.
Yeah. Did you have Eternal Witness in your hand at that point too?
No.
No, you top.
That was the draw for the turn.
The Kiki. Okay. I was just thinking where you were at before, keeping the multiple combats to be able to hopefully itch your way out to killing Jake. Basically, I didn't think you could do it in 1, but I thought with him down to 30, you could probably hit him in 2 and be able to win with how I know that deck works.
I completely forgot about his Elish Norn on Thor's side, so my Ewit does die, and Kiki Jiki would also just immediately die.
Yep.
So, it's a good thing I didn't go for that line.
Right. Nyx Bloom doesn't, though.
Nope. Surprise, that's a 3/3.
Yep. So Jake is still pissed.
I believe I tell Jake that he's more than welcome to hit me with a Hydra. I have enough life.
Yeah. Yep. Jake, you text you with a Hydra and Ramos and Thor. Oh, interesting. Oh, he just took 12 damage. He didn't care about the 2 and 3 he's taking from Logan. He just took 12 Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cared about that one.
And he's worried because it's very easy to get Ramos back up to that.
Yep.
And just do it all over again.
And looks like Thor is going to Journey. Grand Abolisher again. Another Grand Abolisher.
I've seen a lot of that today.
We do. And looks like he's going to block the Ronus with it.
Looks like he's actually trying to target Phantasmal Image, which is the Elish Norn, with Gesic Wolfrun to get it off the board.
Yep.
And he's debating what would actually be better to either pump up his Ronus or to kill the Elish Norn.
Yep. Because Gesic Wolfrun targets, and when you target Phantasmal Image, you have to sacrifice it. Once it becomes a target. And it looks like Jake does not... Logan does not like to see what's happening here.
He does like to see the Elish Norn off the table.
Yeah, he does, because that does kill his whole deck. Looks like the Grand Abolisher Journey to the Journey flip card, I forget the name of it, is still in the stack with bringing back Grand Abolisher. It's like it's after Jake has targeted
the Elish
Norn. Yep. This is still in the declaring attacker step, so before blockers. Definitely playing this on a computer makes it much more clean. And it looks like Logan's cast Chain of Vapors.
Targeting the Hydra.
Yep.
And so he's really worried about... He was okay with taking 6, leaving me at 4, but he definitely doesn't want to go down to 2.
Right.
Because I already said that I was more than willing to take the 6. I'd be willing to take 8.
Yep.
Meaning that they both would also take 8.
Yep.
Jake decides not to sacrifice a land to chain the Chain of Vapors.
Yep. Which is interesting. I know he's hurting for mana, but if he would have sacrificed a land, I may have thought about targeting your Nyx Bloom Ancient. You know what I mean? Because that, in a aggro ramp deck,
Right.
is half of what you need. It has the ramp part down. You have all the lands you need now. Now you just need stuff.
Stuff to cast with it.
Exactly. And you could technically... you could... No. Could you... You couldn't Kiki your Nyx Bloom.
Yeah, you can.
Does it still Kiki, or does it take on Nyx Bloom, the legendary?
Nyx Bloom is not legendary.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
I'm
not.
pretty sure it is. Let's look at that one.
How much you want to bet?
I'm not betting anything on these ones. Let's go.
I've been right 3 times
looks
now.
Looks like Logan took his turn, played Seaside Citadel, Arbor Elf, and the Aura Shard is going to target Arcane Signet. It's like, because it said the enchantment creature. That's a legendary creature. It is not. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I've done it.
That is. You could have kikied your own thing and...
So I've actually, because Samut untaps a creature, I've copied Nyx Bloom Ancient 3 times with Kiki Jiki and make, just 27 mana casually with 1 land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. It looks like he destroyed the Arcane Signet. Then he plays Chasm Skulker, Logan, with Aura Shards, targets.
Looks like Thor's Signet.
Yep. Talisman and the Signet. Looks like we're both targets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cutting down his ramp a little bit, which is fine.
Yeah.
However, Ramos...
Because Ramos could come out of nowhere, though, really, and just try to win from here.
But he doesn't want to get rid of it because Ramos is just sitting over Jake's head.
Yeah.
And everybody at the table is okay with that.
At 9, that's all he needs is 9 to win, to knock Jake out. See, I'm not really worried about many things here either. It's really, I don't think Logan's really in it at this point. I think he's coming in to try to get second.
Yeah.
Let's play for that second place points. The Whir has a chance here. Looks like in his upkeep,
he's playing
Mystical Tutor with the Forest. He still has Chromatic Lantern on the battlefield.
He does still have Chromatic Lantern.
Alright, so during his upkeep, he's going to put this card on the top of his library, so that way he draws it in his draw step.
Right.
Oof. Let's see, what is he going to get? I mean, he's 5 color. There's a lot of good targets. What would you say is probably the best target to target with that card? To get?
So, I mean, you have a good couple of choices here. He needs something to go on the board here. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana. So maybe if he had a Nyx Bloom Ancient in his deck, he could search for a creature search. However, pulling out a Villainous Wealth is also a good idea.
Villainous Wealth, I think, was probably going to be his best, probably one of the best cards.
Right. And it's, again, hard to tell. We don't ask for deck lists in these tournaments.
Because we are playing in them, we don't want to know. It's okay. However, I love that card. It's a fantastic
Villainous
card.
Wealth, oh yeah.
It is a game ender. Especially looking at 2 aggressive either Naya or Gruul decks here.
Right.
That's a way that he quickly can end the game.
Yeah, because considering that we've had a few things out on the board, we're going to have some smoking cards in the rest of the deck.
Yep.
He decides not to cast it yet. He's actually asking around for the graveyards.
Yep. He's trying to figure out because he's going to grab something that looks like with Nicol Bolas.
Yeah. And he grabs my Eternal Witness. And it enters the battlefield.
He's going to get his Phantasmal Image.
Yeah. Something we've seen all day.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, targeting...
the best card on the battlefield, Ronus.
No, well...
He actually probably could have targeted Ronus to kill Jake.
Right.
With Ramos out.
But when you pull a fancy card out of your deck like Villainous Wealth, you want to...
Get more mana, so get the Explosion. That's right.
Yep. So he targets it. He taps out a bunch here.
Yeah, looks like he can X is 12, I believe.
Yep.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15 mana. Yep, X is 12. Playing X and Sultai, right? You know, another card that I may have thought about getting out of here, if he was going to do that whole little trick, would be maybe something like Finale of Devastation if it's in there.
Or Torment of Hailfire.
Or Torment of Hailfire.
I think actually Torment would be better, looking at the board state.
Because it's going to make everybody sack so many things.
So he does Villainous Wealth, targeting Jake. Then...
For X is 12.
X is 12.
And we're like, okay, do we really want Thor to come out of like last place and come win this? Basically, I think Logan's like, hey, I still got things. I'm a blue player.
So he actually casts Derevi to untap one of my red sources.
Which is going to be your Clifftop Retreat.
Yep. And then I proceed to tap it and Pyroblast.
Red Elemental Blast. Same thing.
Same, yeah.
Yep.
Counter target blue spell. Villainous Wealth is blue. A good little teamwork there we had. Because Jake's deck is scary when there's one of them. Having two of them on the board.
Yep.
Thor is a little sad. We do remember there's an Aura Shard trigger.
Yep.
And he does finally take out the Ramos.
Mm-hmm.
Stack resolves. Villainous gets countered.
He decides not to take out the Ramos, though. He was thinking about it, could destroy it. But then I reminded him that Nyx Bloom. There's Nyx Blooms there.
So he decides to tap the Nyx Bloom, gets rid of the Nyx Bloom.
Yep. Or get it to Aura Shard, target it, however he wanted to do that.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because it still targets. And it's an enchantment.
And it's an enchantment.
Yep.
That's right. That's what it was.
Argument that would be made is also to destroy your Nyx Bloom. Because his already did his thing right now.
And he's tapped out.
And he gets a whole other turn before that.
Yep. Yeah, and actually that's what sets up a really good turn for me is untapping with Nyx Bloom.
Yeah, I mean, looks like you're about to take your turn here. And then Temple of the False Gods, look at that Boros Charm on top right there.
Yep, that's a Boros Charm in my hand. Yep.
And it looks like...
And you know, it was at this point that I was pretty upset Thor was playing my deck, my cards, copying my cards, stealing my cards.
Right.
Thor!
Yeah.
Waiting for the comment to resolve there.
Don't forget to tap your Elish Forest.
Yeah, gotta untap that Elish Forest. Looks like Thor attacked Logan, and Logan blocked with Derevi to get it back into the command zone. Looks like I'm looking at my mana here.
$18, $21, $24, $27 mana. Plus your 6 from your... So 33?
Yep. That's a lot.
It's a lot. Nyx Bloom Ancient's ridiculous. Such a fun card. I don't know why whenever I get it, no one lets me keep it.
Yeah.
Like, it's constantly taken.
Well, I had to work for mine.
I know. I play it in my Enchantress, and no one lets it stick around.
Well, I mean, for that, it's double-sided. It's an enchantment and mana ramp for you. I mean,
Right?
it's just mana ramp for me. I mean, come on.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't stick around as a comma either. It's not only mana ramp in that deck, it's a lot of extra mana.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It looks like you're trying to map your turn here. This is going to be a complicated turn. And just like we said last video, that's what Nyx Bloom Ancient does. It makes complicated things happen.
Right.
You have to really plan out what you're going to do and how it's going to work. just because you have all the mana in the world doesn't mean you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You gotta do it right.
And I'm making sure I'm doing it right by grabbing some dice.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta represent. Make sure the math is solid.
That's the hard part too, is floating that mana, not really counting it yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And having dice, because that's the easiest way to make mistakes. It's like you have 3
green, 3 red, 6 colorless. I realized I grabbed it wrong.
You're going to use the white for colorless, and like, wait, I need white in here anyways.
Yeah. Like, hold up. Get a black die in there. So I got 6 colorless.
And use all of that, a red and a green and 2 green. Samut.
My commander hits the board. Fantastic. Gives everything haste. And the reason I play her, because I want to get another trigger going here. And we've talked about him. We love him. We might not all know him, but Itali, Primal Surge. Fantastic card. And the one thing that your Comet deck can't do is give it haste.
It does.
As well.
Doesn't give it.
As easily.
As easily, that's true. That is true. I play Hasty Dinos, though.
You play Hasty Dinos.
I do. But see, mine's a little bit different. You play a lot of just Naya good stuff.
Yeah.
I play Naya Dinos. Like, it's really just a dinosaur deck.
Yeah.
There's very few cards that are not dinosaurs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. This looks like fun.
This is where a little bit of politicking starts between Logan and me. He is rightfully scared.
He's because you're wondering what we're gonna get done. Because you're like, I might not be able. You have some player removal here because you have 10, 15. And how big is Samut?
She's a 3/4 double strike.
So 15. So you have.
I have Logan removal.
You have Logan removal. That's right. So you have 16 damage here. And that's why when here I was wondering. I thought that you still had that other card in your hand to do additional combat.
Yeah.
Because with the Itali and the additional combat, you can just get things.
Yeah,
with Samut and taking things from like Jake's deck or even Thor's deck here can get pretty crazy. So it's like you're attacking here.
Yeah, Itali's going at Logan. Itali trigger. I get Terramorphic. Sword Splashers, a Beast Within.
And a wizard.
And a stupid wizard we don't care about.
Exactly, that's the exact word.
Nyx Bloom, Ancient, and Samut go towards Jake. Mm-hmm. Looks like I decide to Beast Within the Song of the Dryad.
Yep.
Getting my Elish Norn back before damage.
Yep. Logan kind of threatening you. Don't think you can kill. You can kill him. And you're saying yes, you can.
Yeah. As we saw earlier, the Boros Charm was out, and then I still have the Swords Plowshares.
Mm-hmm.
I just quickly exile my Terramorphic. It wasn't going to do anything.
But you can't do it anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
And I believe the deal that was happening was he was going to Aura Shards his own Song of the Dryads to make a deal with me.
Yeah. But you don't need it.
Yeah.
Beast Within. Does give Logan the token.
Yes, he gets the 3/3 that
Because he's the owner of the card, which is now a 1/1.
Yeah.
Because
Elish Norn.
Yep.
And I decide to, you know what, you don't need any more blockers.
Elish Norn is going to trigger. He's going to sacrifice the land. To get the Aura Shards and bring it Back and it'll die.
Yeah.
Immediately. I'm going to take out Ramos. And this is all with all these other triggers on the stack. You can cast swords right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is still before blockers.
It looks like he decides to Aura Shards my Nyx Bloom finally. Which, at this point, I'm okay with.
Yeah. And then, I don't know if you're okay with that, because you literally said, okay, sword's your thing. Your blocker.
And that's exactly why I wanted to deal some damage to Logan.
Until he's a 6/6, right? Yeah.
So it'd be
8 damage, yep. So he's into 3. Very, very precarious life total.
Oh, yeah.
There's red in every other deck you're playing. There's potential for a lightning bolt. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we saw earlier in your hand here on the video, you had a Boros Charm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was at this point I was actually asking people if they had a way to kill me so that I could get the extra point of going out in style. Just because.
But you still have to get if they're going to kill you when you get 3rd and going out in style is the same as getting 2nd.
Yeah. It's more for bragging rights.
That's a hard one to get.
Every other point.
Yep. It's like Jake's taking his turn here. What do we got, Jake?
I believe at this point he's saying to himself that he's pretty much out of this.
Mm-hmm. Might be able to play 1 spell a turn.
Yeah.
Which this is you need more to catch up here now. And it's Temple of Abandon. Scries to the bottom. I believe his exact words is, "Get out of here, Arbor Elf." And then Logan's like, "Hey, I have one."
Not anymore.
Right? And then it looks like he is going to target. What's he targeting? Oh, he's casting Siege Behemoth. Where when you attack, you assign damage as
though they weren't blocked.
Yep.
Yeah. Good aggro card.
Mm-hmm.
It gets around chump blockers.
Looks like Logan here's playing a Plains.
That Basalt Monolith doing him a lot of good here.
Yep. Staying tapped. However, the point of it is to have Derevi untap it. Yeah.
You get the value and
at this point Logan's like, I don't know what you have, but I'm gonna figure this out.
So he goes ahead, plays his commander off of Derevi's trigger.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 triggers go on the stack.
Yep. So it looks like he's going to come on. Looks like he's taking.
No, he's going to tap down the Traitor's Swine Wizard.
Yep.
The worthless wizard.
Yep. And plays Mystic Remora.
Yep.
Yep.
It looks like he forgot. No, he chose not to do Aura Shards off of Derevi's.
Yep. Or he missed the trigger.
Very possible.
Very possible. A lot of things happen. You do forget some things when you're playing, like especially on a board states this big. Yep, so you remember the trigger. Destroys a chromatic lantern. Yep. Just getting rid of all his rocks, really.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's not very many artifacts on the board.
True, and then here is a big one, Seedborn Muse.
Seedborn Muse. Broken green card.
Yes. Very good card. Yep, I think Logan's decided to this one he's gonna let that slip. Even though he can totally hit Ramos, right?
Yeah.
Ramos is an artifact. And that's really the only other thing he can get on the board now.
So it goes to Thor.
Thor probably draws the best card he can here.
Yeah.
Next to that villainous well.
In top deck mode.
Yep.
Like, this is pretty nuts.
Yep. You can see it there. It's Eerie Ultimatum. Choose any number of different named permanents in your graveyard and bring it back to the battlefield.
And then he remembers that he stole my Eternal Witness on accident.
5. He's just going to remove it from...
Yeah, he was trying to see if he could pay for it without using Ramos because he wanted to at least get a commander kill here. But he ends up actually having to use Ramos.
Yep. Does Ramos get all those pips back, though? The 7 back? The 7+1/+1 counters?
Only if you cast other. So, in this case, he'll get 3 back.
He'll get 3 of it back because it's 3 different colors.
Yeah.
It's different colors, okay.
Yeah, it's colors, not pips. That would be broken.
That would be sweet. He's like, are you playing the Mystic Remora trigger? He's like, you know what? Yes. Eerie Ultimatum is bringing back from his graveyard. Looks like he has Chromatic Lantern, Phantasmal Image, which he's going to end up copying the Elish Norn. Otherwise, stuff will die. The Talisman. Arcane Signet.
So pretty much all of Logan's hard
Grand Abolisher. Another Grand Abolisher sighting. Elvish Mystic. Lana War Elves. And a Terramorphic Expanse. Pretty good.
Yeah. You know, paying 7 to get a million cards.
2, 3... to get more than 7 cards on the battlefield.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And considering Elish Norn is a 7-drop card. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Feels pretty good.
Yep.
And so
we just talked about it, telling him that has to resolve that way first. He was thinking about copying something else with Elish Norn. However, if he wants his
Grand Abolisher,
Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elf, to just be on the field.
He needs it.
Yep. And now, once again, there is 2 Elish Norns. Again. Logan brought the right play, man.
Yes, he did. And yet he's the only one without.
I think he probably has one in his deck, though. I'm pretty sure.
It's Logan. He probably does.
Yeah. Looks like he pluses up Bolas to draw 2. Looks like he gets to play a good card here next.
And it was at this point that we were still trying to make the deal of someone attacking and killing me.
Right.
But then realized that I couldn't play Boros Charm to kill Logan in response, so he putrefies his own Grand Abolisher. Which was weird. You'd probably never ever do that.
Right.
But
he didn't think it through because it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just killed one of his own creatures for the fun of it.
Pretty much. He was trying to see if he could kill me, and he couldn't.
Because the only thing they could attack would have been Ramos. You could have putrefied your Elish Norn, though.
To increase the Ramos power.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he's playing Mildrotha. Looks like he's thinking of what to do here. Looks like he's trying to make that deal still. Because on your dying breath, you could take out Logan. Mm-hmm. That Boros charm.
And that's all that matters.
That's exactly what you're trying to get at.
And Logan pretty much at this point knows.
It's like, I want to see how this is going to happen. Like,
yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. It's like it was just reminding him of his death touch.
Now, at this point, Thor actually could attack Jake
and just
to
kill
get
him.
a commander kill point, too.
Right? And then probably assert himself guaranteed at least second with a commander kill. Right. Guaranteed.
And that's the same number of points as the first place.
Mm-hmm. But I think he's trying to think how he could kill you to do that deal, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he can still do the same thing if he kills you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, but he's tapped out. He can't get Ramos any bigger.
Nope.
He can't get Ramos up to 21 that easily. Especially not without your Exclamation anymore.
Yeah. Looks like he's sacrificing that Terramorphic Expanse to get a forest that he played off the Eerie Ultimatum.
Yeah.
And then looks like he played it land for turn, Terramorphic Expanse
Mm-hmm.
for the Madrolta. So I said that this is a unique. I wouldn't think 5-color playing like Reanimator stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Or copy stuff. Like, that's not the type of deck I would have thought that this was going to be. I thought this was going to be big multicolored spells, like powerhouse spells, like Eerie Ultimatum.
Yeah, or Progenitus.
Or Progenitus, yeah. Right? Madrolta could definitely have been in there, because it's definitely a powerful card. Like, it's a common, like, individually powerful cards, right?
Right. It looked like Thor decided to just go ahead and attack me for 13 commander damage in the air. Logan's counting up his mana, seeing how much he has, realizing that I do have a death card in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Let's see. What do you think I think he's egging you on to?
Yeah.
Really?
He wants to bait it out. He wants
to see you do that damage.
He wants to force it.
Yep, exactly. What do we got here? So he's counting his mana. 2, 3, 4. It looks like you're going to combat.
Yeah, at this point I've declared combat.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to activate Derevi's ability, put him on the battlefield.
Yep. Aura shards. That target there is on the stack. It's like he's targeting with the untap ability. Targets Ramos with the Aura Shards to destroy that. And then with the ability, he's targeting to tap its Holly.
An interesting thing to note is Thor decides to put Ramos in the bin.
Yep.
So with the tap ability from Derevi on the stack, I do decide to Boros Charm Logan, because if I could get him off the table, his stack goes away.
Do you pay 4?
He does ask the question, and I say yes. Yes, indeed, I do.
So, yep. Looks like he drew a card for tapping Elish Norn with Verity Circle.
Yeah.
Hoping to draw a counter spell here. Also tapping Samut.
Yep.
Counterspell, or death. It's a land. Looks like it is death he chose.
And so the useless wizard goes away as well.
Yep. You're still going to combat.
Still going to combat. I still have an Italia on the board.
Mm-hmm. A 8/8 Italia.
No, 6/6.
That is another Elish Norn. So back to normal power and toughness. All right. Alright, Italy triggers.
So,
Smothering
Tithe.
Ulamog. Ceaseless Hunger. And another
Elish
Norn. Alright.
So at this point, I didn't actually want to cast the Elish Norn because he would just get it right back with his special land.
He could, right? But see, what I was also thinking, though, is you could have just kept it, sacrificed your Elish Norn. Kept his.
Yeah, I mean...
And that way, because we'd have technically 2 on the board at once for a moment to wipe out his other little creatures.
His little creatures.
Yeah, little blockers. And then technically there'd be 3 Elish Norns that kill God Eternal Ronus.
Yeah.
See? You know what I mean? So that way, you just chose not to cast it, though.
I chose not to cast it. It stays in exile.
Yep. Which is good, too. I mean, he can't get it back with the reanimate stuff he wants to do, right?
Right.
Which definitely can help, because you don't know how much longer this game is going to last. Although, feeling now that a player is actually officially out, it's probably not going to be much longer. And let's say you target with Ulamog.
Yeah, I'm discussing the targets. He has actually a lot of good hits, because I am casting Ulamog here.
Just not paying for it.
Just not paying for it. So... We're talking maybe the Reanimator, but then he still has Muldrotha that could get back the land, or the enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
The copy of Elish Norn, increased power, kills off some of his stuff. Eventually, I decided to go with Nick Bolas and Muldrotha, get his value engine off the board, and get his draw spell off the board.
Right, because he could still journey back to Muldrotha to play the...
Yeah.
to play the Nicobolas. However, it exiles them. Never mind. That's right.
Yeah, it exiles.
So, you're good there.
And then Smothering Tithe.
Yep. Just a good white card. One of the few in Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That all happened there. Looks like Jake goes. Jake is going to... Interesting. Smothering Tithe. Draw your card. And you're like, do I get a token? Do I get a token? He pays the 2.
Logan's trying to give me a token. I revealed, nope, I got a fancy one. It's fine.
It's fine. Looks like he plays his own Natali.
Yep. 2 trolleys on the board. That's scary.
And it looks like...
It's just a good thing Xenagos isn't on the board to give it haste. And then Thor's turn here.
He's thinking what he wants to do. With Ramos in the yard, looks like he's going to crack the Terramorphic Expanse that was on the field for the Muldrotha. On Jake's instep here.
Yeah.
Reading cards from his deck to see, hopefully he draws something. Back to top deck mode. Oh, I guess he did it in his turn for some reason.
Yeah, he did it in his turn.
That's sad.
Yeah. And it's in his upkeep, so he hasn't drawn yet. So I haven't gotten a Smothering Tithe trigger.
Just a few different plays could have changed this whole thing, you know? Looks like he's also going to pay the 2.
Yeah. Smothering Tithe not give me any value, however, it was free.
Yeah.
So.
See, I have a question on here. Like, I'm not sure why Jake didn't play, why he paid for the Smothering Tithe. I don't think it mattered to you.
No, it did not.
But he had in his hand, he could have played Xenagos again, and then next turn done something done. gross again.
Yeah, and swung with a 10-10 death
Or
touch.
put his Hydra back out on the battlefield and tried to attack, Thor and kill Thor and you at the same time.
Yeah. No, he kind of just left it. Atali's good. He's probably looking at triggers.
Trying to hopefully get something off his deck and your deck.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. But he already got probably the best off the top deck of Ulamog.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Unless he's playing the Emrakul. That take a turn when you cast it.
Yeah.
Because that could attack however you wanted to, all at Thor with your turn.
And control. He could have attacked Elish Norn and then blocked it with the death touch.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right.
Looks like he's waving a 4/7 vigilance at me. A lot of this is they're just looking at their hands, seeing what they can do. Fyndhorn Elves enters the battlefield.
Yep. And just thinking what he wants to do here.
He's trying to also keep up his land to recur something from the grave.
Mm-hmm.
He swings in.
You're thinking about blocking with your Ulamog. However,
I don't want it to die.
Right. Well, because you don't want that to come back. Well, Ulamog doesn't die. Ulamog is disruptive.
No. I don't want his Phantasmal image to die.
Right. Because what I was thinking is he could have easily, if that happened, got his own Ulamog on the battlefield by copying it, and then now that's a problem for you. Now you can get over it.
Yeah, I'd have to find an exile effect or target effect.
Or they're just gonna hit each other, and then they're exiling each other's deck.
Yep.
And that's a problem. And he has more life than you actually.
Yeah, at this point.
Mm-hmm. It goes back to your turn though. It's like you're attacking.
So, at this point, Thor is the biggest threat. I want to keep that Ulamog around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, you don't feel like Jake's a threat at all right now. So Ulamog attacking and Atali. You're going to trigger it so the Atali goes off first. So you got Wear Tear, Utter End, and a Gruul Signet.
Yeah, and that Utter End is the big piece here.
Yep. Alright.
Utter End plus Wear and Tear means he won't have any blockers. He could cheat something out with the land.
Yeah, so you Utter End that, he has to sacrifice it. Wear Tear. That.
And I'm trying to give my card away.
Right.
I end up going with Chromatic Lantern here.
See, this is where, because the Tully trigger exile 20, right?
Right. Ulamog.
No, that's what I meant. But here's where Thor should have made a Ulamog, though, as a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he had the Phantasmal image still in his yard that he could have flashed out and made as a blocker.
Yeah, because Utter End exiles, but since it was targeted, it sacrifices first.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to do something. You put those in his graveyard. He's like, wait, those are exiled. Gets Phantasmal Image. And what's he going to copy? I mean, he could always, copy your Elish Norn again to try to shrink everything, also to chop, to kind of keep doing that kind of thing, but then he's not making any progress.
It was at this point that no matter what it was, Samut would target it before blocks with her
Your ability.
untapped target creature.
Yep. So you still had it. And... Yep.
So Atali and Ulamog were 20, and Samut was 10 by herself.
Yep. All right.
And that's Thor out of the game.
That is. So 2 down. So we talked about this. This is probably going to be the end table right here.
Yeah.
Right? It was...
Double aggro.
Yep.
I'm starting with the bigger.
No. See, Xenagos. Okay, Xenagos is good. I really think you get it the other way and still have a little bit better return, but I don't think it really would have changed much. Tally triggers. Mountain, Life's
Legacy. Life's Legacy, yeah.
I want to say Bounty for some reason. Sack a creature, draw.
Which he does choose to. He sacks Ramos because Ramos goes back in the deck, and he actually ends up drawing Ramos back.
Yeah. Because the sack is part of the cost there.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is the game, sir.